What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answers. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God, as there are many Decepticons running around in these end times sent from the enemy, had a strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, and awesome. All right, everybody, July 9th, 2024 on a good old Tuesday. Word from the Lord here. I did make a community post earlier, but he added more to it, so we're going to do video format here and give you a bit of the background. So in the morning, I do spend time with the Lord after waking up from a dream or whatever he's given me. Even if it's an attack of the enemy and I'm being tested, we do talk about all that stuff. But waking up, spending time with the Lord, as always. And as we're having a conversation, he then tells me to look in front of me. And I'm like, he always telling me to look here or look there somewhere, right? So I said, okay, I know where this is headed. So I end up seeing, I've shown y'all this before, but he did it again in his own way. The rainbow in my room. It's another rainbow again. And even when I caught it and captured it, it's so strange. Like I can record fireworks going off. Boom, 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 boom. I can record all those fireworks. But it's every time something spiritual is going on in my room, it's like the way that it's getting captured and caught, it's like the presence is so powerful. It affects the device. I don't know how else to explain that, right? And for those that are very skeptical of stuff like this, and I even have people coming to me about Satan disguising himself as an angel of light. And I do want to explain this to people because before I give the word, because it's very important. How Satan disguises himself as an angel of light is based on his lies and his words, right? A lot of people that Satan is deceiving to do evil things, calling it good, they hear him. It's not that they're seeing. Most people don't see this stuff. Most people are not seeing stuff like this. They're hearing it. And that's what is causing them to be convinced that evil is good. So I do want to point that out. But let's read scriptures. I think a lot of people too, when it comes to stuff like this that the Lord shows me, they totally ignore that there's a rainbow. So let's read about the rainbow. Genesis 9:13. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth, right? Revelation 4:3. I love this one too. And he who sat there was like a jasper and a sardius stone in appearance. And there was a rainbow around the throne, in appearance like an emerald. So a rainbow, but like an emerald. So the rainbow is associated with the Lord. And I think a lot of people miss that aspect. So the thing with Satan is, the only way he really tries to pervert the rainbow is by changing what it means and then associating it with one of the most deadly sins, pride. So that's really all he can do to try to slap our Father in the face, right? Is change the meaning of the rainbow, which comes from God. So when you have people doing witchcraft and so forth, and they appear to be servants of righteousness, that's kind of like a good example of how Satan does things. But people think that, that's righteousness. So darkness to people will actually be light, evil will be good and good will be evil. So we got to be very careful. But it's really hard to deceive a person who really listens to the conviction of the Holy Spirit and really knows God and gets to know God further in their journey. It's not necessarily easy to be deceived if you stay focused and centered on truth. Okay? And for me, when I first started seeing this stuff, when the Lord speaks, a lot of people, I think, have the idea that when the lights and the rainbow wings appear that I'm being spoken to by these things. No. There's an overall, the Lord, okay, voice speaking to me before I see that. So I just want to clarify that to people. I don't think people realize that. There's an overall voice speaking to me and I see it. If an angel is present near me, the Lord will say to me, I'm sending an angel to speak to you. Okay? Very important. Just to give people clarification. He says, I'm sending an angel to speak to you. And he will always be present if this angel speaks. So just FYI, if you're in a situation, in a case where you don't know how the Lord speaks to you, but you got angels popping up on you, right? And you don't really know what's going on. God is not going to do you like that. You're not ready to receive something like that without clarity and confirmation first. Some form of get to know God first. That never happened to me. It was always God first, and then he sends his angels. If I was being tested, I was always talking to God first, then his angels. I didn't know if the angel was appearing to be a human in that moment. I thought I was dealing with a person. Turned out to be an angel. So God first. When you put God first, it's really hard for Satan to deceive you. So I turned into a little bit of a lesson with this, but I had to bring this up because I think people get the wrong idea when I put this up and they think I'm talking to different lights. No, God is already talking to me before I see these things. So there were 3 times I've seen Satan in this walk. And it was around the time when I first heard from the Lord, when I had that encounter with him, Michael, and that demon that tried to like choke me out. It was, I can't even explain to you how crazy that was. But Michael was there to keep me safe because illegally he tried to do it. The Lord allowed this encounter and he showed me what Satan looked like. He allowed me to see that. And he had a dark presence. Now, to a person that don't know God, he could appear to be an angel of light. Of course, he's not going to be threatening to the person that don't know God. So I seen him again. And it was another trial of him trying to make me fall short. But it was like one night. It was just one night he came to attack and he was allowed to. And when I was like knowing the encounter, he got mad. He started yelling, no, what do you mean no? And he came out of this cloud, like, I don't even know. It's just like this cloudiness he came out. It was darkness. And he tried to reach out and grab me. Now, every time I've seen him, he's wearing all black. So if you see Satan, you gonna know it's Satan if you know God. If you don't know God, you're not gonna know that that's Satan. That's the only way I can put it for y'all. Because he is got this darkness over him. It's not even funny. And that's why people who are more intrigued by darkness are going to look at him as an angel of light. So it's just that the deepness of those scriptures is so real when you have encounters like that. I've also heard Satan speak. Because when I first started and I heard the Lord's voice for the first time, I remember I was calling out to the Lord and he allowed this to happen. And the way Satan was trying to sound was like a mockery of the Lord's voice. And I'm just like, what? I said, that ain't, you better get out of here. And then I just heard him yelling no at the top of his lungs, like literally cutting up, screaming no yelling no at the top of his lungs. And God kicked him out of whatever he did in the beginning of things. But that was my first test to see if I could discern the voice of God and Satan. And the Lord just basically told me, you passed. It was a really quick test. Say, I just wanted to see if you could tell your father's voice between the enemy. So I got a lot of tests before I even got to this point, and some pretty interesting stuff going forward in my encounters with Satan, literally seeing him and hearing what he sounds like. And yeah, this is what the Lord had to say. It is my promise that all truth shall be revealed immensely. It shall be a harsh reality for many. There shall be an immense wave of truth incoming. My children, I will teach you a valuable lesson on the importance of seeking your Father, an example that will teach many. And I'm going to leave it at that. Take that back to the Lord in prayer. That's all he wants me to say. Peace and blessings, and I will catch y'all in the next one.